But he started that, so we couldn't say anything.
Exactly why I did that. Guys, welcome back to the third Bassmaster Elite Series event of the year, Bassmaster Fantasy Fishing. If you're watching this, you have less than 24 hours to make your picks, so make sure you get those picks in almost immediately. But let's take one step back. Let's look at the Bassmasters Classic. Had a pretty good event. I actually picked the winner of the event with Jason Christie. If you watched the last fantasy show, I picked Jason to win the Classic. And out of all the picks that I made, that was the person I thought was going to win. But we all had pretty good, solid picks. I know Todd had Jason as well. Pangrac, did you have Jason?
Just skip me and go to Todd because everything I picked, Todd's pick was better. So, like, seriously, he had an insanely good team at the Classic. There was unless
I fell off on the final day, but going into going after day 2, I think everyone I had was in the top 10.
Yeah, that's how mine was.
I picked a leader every day. I mean, it was like my Taco pick was killing me, and then Taco just like, watch out, guy. I mean, he came through.
Yeah, my pick, the only one that really fell off was John Cox, but I had a 1st, a 9th, a 13th, and a 19th when it was all said and done. But
when Scott Martin's my worst pick,
that's pretty good.
All right.
Yeah, that works out pretty well. But overall, a really good Classic, made up a bunch of points. Congratulations, Jason, for winning your Classic. It's about dang time.
You're asking
your Classic. I mean, in my opinion, it was his to lose.
Yeah.
You know, he's gotten second, 2 times prior to, and once at Hartwell. So, or I think he actually got third, or did he get second or third last time?
Third, I think.
Third, but I mean, he was like ounces out.
Yeah.
But overall, congrats to all the guys. Actually, the one person that I wanted to give you a hard time about, Pangrac, was your Miller pick. You changed your Miller pick, and he actually wrecked it the first couple of days because you're Jared Miller. You were going to pick him, and you're like, no, I'm not going to do it.
I was pretty locked in on Porosnik. Like, I bet the farm on him.
Yeah.
And that did not work out. He ended up finishing.
Did any of us pick Brandon Cobb?
No, none of us did.
I mean, like, he was like the pick too. Like,
oh yeah, no, there's a lot of people that bet the farm of Brandon Cobb.
I mean, like commentator, like the like Zone, and like they were all talking about it, and none of us. I mean, he came back on day 2, but he made I heard a quote that he said. He goes, "Hey man, I have a lot of days like these 8 and 10 pound days. I just happen to catch a big one or two every once in a while, and like I end up doing this. And on day 2, he has big bass, climb back up, not enough, but it was fun. If I'd have known that, see, that's some stuff Matt should already. I'm sure he already knew that quote before he was going to say it.
Before he even said it,
and knew. He's like, that's a risky pick. He didn't pick him.
Well, no, just based on his finishes there, I knew it was a risky pick. But I mean, I thought, like I said, I thought Porosnik was a top 10. I thought all Porosnik had to do was show up for a top 10. Like, seriously, I was that confident.
You know what I think changed?
But it's why I picked Taco. It's why I picked him like the same style as Porosnik, and it worked out for him. It didn't work out on day 1 for him. Like, all those guys that kind of fish that way didn't catch him on day 1, and then a lot of those guys caught him on day 2.
Mm-hmm. I'm not bitter about it.
Yeah. Well, I think a lot of it. I mean, Porosnik knew. Yes, you are, but Porosnik knew all this stuff about like the fish head spins and the ditches pre-live scope, pre-forward facing sonar. And I actually think that's part of the thing that hurt him, is he knew how to go catch them in these areas. And the big deal on that is to set way back and to line up.
He just won on Smith Lake using it.
Yeah, but you go to a place that you've had continued success not using it and relying on your technique and relying on finding the bait. And a lot of times that's all you had to do back in the day. But now the way Hartwell's changed, and especially with forward-facing sonar, it's a different game completely. I do absolutely think it made a world of difference in that situation. But let's jump into Santee Cooper. Those guys are dealing with a lot of weather. We all have. I mean, we've dealt with cold front after cold front. These fish have tried to pull up to spawn, and they haven't quite made it there. Todd and I just fished a tournament, over 2 weeks ago, a week and a half ago, whatever it's been, and the fish were trying to pull up to spawn. and they got pushed back again and again. And I think these guys are dealing with the same thing. But one thing I will say is they have a couple things working in their favor. I know I read a report of Bassmaster Carl Jacobson did. He said that even on their coldest day, which was Sunday, the air temperatures was like 20 degrees, but the water temps, he said, were still significantly higher than what he thought it was going to be. And they were going to be on a warming trend as the event went on, and they have a full moon coming. I think that combination of things is going to play a big role this week. What do you think, Todd?
Yeah, man. I just spent the weekend on a lake that they were pushed up on, and one little cold day and a cold night, even with the sun coming out the next day and warm, it got worse the next day. I'm just saying, now it might happen by this weekend, but I'm just telling you, like, even with all my experience, I was shocked to see the amount of fish that were already ready to go back out. And I'm talking about back out completely, like almost non-existent. That was instantly. So I don't know. I'm already ready with my pick. I got my first pick.
All right. Well, Todd's going to lead us off in Group A. Let's see what you got, Todd.
Well, you make me lead off every single time because y'all had this weird thing that I didn't know what I was doing, or like I copied all y'all and whatever. I thought about this one. And I will say, so these guys, Matt and Andrew, helped me because I did know what state we're going in, but they did kind of tell me a little bit about the lake because I didn't know anything about like this rain and all this stuff.
We really honestly should have just let him ride on it. That it was in Georgia.
Next time we do our picks and then we break the lake down for the next.
You shouldn't have broke the lake down and gave me this little knowledge, because I probably would have. Yeah. So when I listened to what y'all said and y'all told me that, hey, it matters to where, if you know this lake,
water's down too.
Water is down.
Well, that doesn't bother me. But y'all said it matters because you better know where you're going. Like, you better already know what to do, and where to go. So already I'm probably going to pick nothing but veterans and veterans. Veteran.
Yeah.
Old guys in the sport. And that doesn't mean old guys that have been doing a long time. I think this guy, I don't think I've ever picked him ever, which is stupid, but he's on a little bit of a roll. He's from Arkansas, like getting a bunch of rain, dirtying up stuff, things like that. He knows how to sight fish if he needs to. I think he'll be as consistent as can be. Stetson Blaylock.
There you go. I don't hate that pick. He's actually won in South Carolina before too. So it wouldn't shock me. How about you, Pangrac? Who you got?
Every single bucket here is just torture.
It is. It's bad. This week is worse than I've seen.
I'm either gonna just, I don't know. But here's what I said. The guy's been there before. He has top 10 to event like 10 years ago here. He's fishing well. I'm going Scott Canterbury.
I don't hate that pick. I'm actually torn between two anglers. And I honestly, I could change this just to let everyone know. I could switch it around, but it's going to be one of these two anglers. I'm leaning Drew Cook or David Mullins. Both are, I mean, you can't knock Mullins' consistency. Last time he was at Santee, he got a top 10. I just don't see the Mullins train slowing down right now. I think he's on a roll. I'm going to go ahead and go out on a limb. I think he wins Angler of the Year this year. Hands down wins Angler of the Year. And I think he's going to turn a corner at this event and really help his odds there. But I do think Drew Cook is an up-and-coming angler. He's an excellent sight fisherman, and he has been there before. Last time he was there, I think he got a top 15. So he knows how to catch them there. So I think he's going to have a good event as well. So let's go and jump into Group B. Pangrac, how about you lead us off?
This is just like sadistic because the buckets now, like the classic, they like pick the buckets. So they put all what they said, the good guys, in bucket A and stuff. But now we're going just on like Angler of the Year, right? So that's how the buckets are distributed. So it just so happens that Jason Williamson, David Williams, Patrick Walters, Porosnik, Brian New, Scott Martin, Greg Hackney, Brandon Cobb and Matt Airy are all in bucket B.
Yep.
So, I mean, take your pick of any of those guys. I'm going with Brian New. He's pretty good friends with the guy who has caught him there before and has probably talked to him about it before he was on the Elite Series. I don't know. Let's go with Brian New. I like Brian New. It seems like his style.
Yeah, I think it could be a junk up type tournament. You know, one day you catch them in the drains. I remember Shaw Grigsby catching them there one time, throwing a trap in the drains and doing that kind of deal. And
he's had to have fished with Thrift out there, hasn't he?
I would think so. I mean, Thrift catches them there too.
Yeah, like every time.
Every single time. So yeah, I think the Brian New pick is super solid. That's actually exactly who I picked as well. And the only reason I didn't go Greg Hackney was because the water is down. Otherwise, I'd have gone Greg Hackney in this event. But Brian New, he's so solid right now. You can't shake him.
Brian New, I picked Brian New last year and this year, and I don't think he's ever let me down. I went through this pick because y'all were talking about all these people, and I'm like, oh, these are some good players. And I saw Brian New just on this kind of deal. I'm like, there's my pick. And I, you know me, I don't look at anything before. And all of a sudden, as you were talking, Matt, I was like, I looked up there, I'm like, oh, Hackney. Oh. And I was like, well, now I have a decision to make. Yeah, but I mean, not really. The Brian New one seems not like a safer pick. I think Hackney's probably even
I think Hackney's a fairly safe pick as well.
Here's the problem with this bucket. There's so many guys that are going to catch him that distribute the percentages. Your only thing you can do to screw yourself in bucket B is to pick one of the 4 guys in this bucket who doesn't catch him.
Yeah. I thought I had Brian New. I mean, I picked Brian New a lot. He's my little safety. That's pretty sad when you're a second year guy and you're my safety pick on so many buckets.
He's really good.
Brian, if you're not watching, which I doubt you are, that's the biggest compliment I think I could ever give someone.
Let's go into Group C. Once again, it's not the hardest of buckets, but it definitely confused me a bit. I think I'm going to have to go Chris Johnston. I just like his style. I think he's going to do well here. I hope he's going to do well. You have Jeff Gustafson in this bucket. He caught the big bass of the event last time they were there in 2020. I just like Johnston. I'm running a Canadian in South Carolina. How about you, Matt?
I'm never not picking Jason Christie again.
I mean, it does kind of fit him too. Not gonna lie.
Plus, like I said, so here's the deal with Christie. He's in the Classic next year.
Yep.
So you're dealing with a double-edged sword here because you're dealing with a guy who it doesn't hurt him if he finishes 90th. Now, I'm not saying he's not going to try to finish 90th, but he can go fish to win on the next 4, which is like what? Chickamauga, Gunnersville, Santee Cooper, like just ridiculous fisheries.
I will say this with the Jason Christie pick. The only thing I will say, I like where your head's at as far as the Classic aspect, but he's in 8th place in points right now. And I can promise you, Jason Christie is looking at Angler of the Year and trying to be the person that wins the Classic and Angler of the Year in the same season.
That is a great point. And I like that pick even better now because that means he's not going to have.
He's motivated at this point.
Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, no, I'm doubling down on Christie now.
Yeah,
and he's in an aluminium boat, so he can run all around there.
Oh well, yeah. How about you, Tad? What you got?
Well, I like how they put Jason, they really screw you when they you look at the list and they have Jason Christie just right at the top. Do you know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah,
it puts them at the top. So the first person you look at,
it's alphabetical order in each bucket, Todd.
I know, but
I didn't know that.
It put him at the top, but he's in this bucket. You don't expect to see Jason Christie in the third bucket.
Yeah, not at all. I don't actually think this was a typo. Why he's in the third bucket makes no sense.
He's in 40th in Angler of the Year.
29.7.
Oh, is it? It says his rank is 8th on here. What does that mean?
I don't know what rank means.
Oh, okay. I just saw
because he got all those points for the classic.
Gotcha. Okay, that makes sense.
Why. But
Yeah,
you know, the classic is a third of the points.
Yeah, Justin Hamner's in there too with 18, right? I
Yeah.
mean, he did good.
Yeah. Okay.
So it instantly makes you want to pick him. I'm like, okay, I'm not picking any of these guys. I'm not like, no, this is a no-brainer. I get down to the bottom and I'm like, ooh, I'm picking this one is the one that like this event is a free-for-all in my opinion. And free-for-alls, and when I really want to pick Joseph Webster.
I like that pick a lot.
I thought that too.
I really want to pick him, but the problem is the guy right above him, I've never picked in fantasy. I'm picking guys I've never picked. I've never picked Darrell Swindle in fantasy, and I'm going to.
Oh,
Roland Swindle, okay. I like
because I'm just picking guys that are like, I think this is one like y'all said. I think this is one of those deals where you can absolutely get like trying to go out on a limb in this thing, and so I'm picking guys that like they might not always be in the top. You know, like Stetson Blaylock, he's going to be consistent. Swindle, like. I'm just picking like the most consistent guys I can pick in any one of these things.
I don't hate that.
Kind of like a little junk deal too. You know, it's like this. I don't know why this feels like it's going to be very like junky fishing.
Yeah, I'm right there with you, honestly. All right. Well, since you got it figured out, how about you lead us off in Group D, Todd?
Well, I ain't even got to Group D, although I think I already got it figured out. Who I'm going with this one. He's right at the top. Man, okay, so my gut tells me to go. I like that Shane LaHue pick. God. I don't know why. Like Justin's kind of hurt me in the past. Sorry. Y'all are gonna have to go. I got to figure out between those two.
All right, go ahead, Pangrac.
Wait, we're coming back to Todd for his pick?
Yeah, we're gonna come back to Todd. Yeah, that's an option. Go ahead, Pangrac.
I think there was one guy at the Classic who was on the stage a lot, but he never got to weigh in any fish. And he was really ticked off on how Florida went, and he really wants to get back at the Classic for the first time in 4 years. And he's been there, and he's not afraid to run around, and he wants to catch him really bad. And I'm going Ike.
Yeah. Yeah, I was struggling between Iaconelli and Hank Cherry. Hank had a good event the last time he was there. Once again, obviously has some experience there, but I'm in the same boat. This is one of those buckets that I've been alternating between those two pretty hardcore. And that once, like you, Matt, I saw Iaconelli, and he's hungry. Like he wants to go win bad, and you don't want an Iaconelli that's hungry. I think he's going to have a good event. But you, Todd?
Brock Mosley.
I like it too. He'll have a good tournament.
Never picked him in fantasy.
He just about won Angler of the Year. Was it last year? He had like a bunch of big finishes last year.
He figured out how to catch a smallmouth, and that was like half the year.
Yeah, that's true. All right, Matt, lead us off in Group E.
God, I'm doing something I swore I would never do.
Don't do it. Don't pick him. Don't pick him.
Are you going Stephen Kennedy?
No, don't do it.
How do you?
Don't do it. I think I already knew because I picked him. I picked him last year at the Classic, dude. And
I used to pick him like 7 times. I'd be like, surely this is the week. I've been down the wormhole with Kennedy and Keith Combs over the last 4 years.
I never picked Keith Combs. I picked Kennedy like 3 times, and he has freaking killed it every time. But
I know, but you know what he could do? He could go out there and be like, it was awesome. There were 6-pounders everywhere.
No doubt.
And he'll find that he'll find that he knows where to go. There's that sneaky little backwater stuff. I feel like, Welcher's going to catch him, but I'm all in on Steve Kennedy.
Rolling Steve, huh?
It's Group E, man.
I will say this. Group E is the strongest Group E I think I've seen in a long time. I mean, you're talking Kyle Welcher. You know he's going to catch him. I think Cliff Prince could have a good tournament. Paul Mueller. Steve Kennedy, Jocumson got second the last time they were there. And then you got guys like Todd Autumn.
There's 5 Elite Series winners in Group E.
I mean, that's a who's who right there. I mean, there's guys that could really catch them there. So, Todd, how about you show us who you got?
I'm making a move. God, this is stupid. I shouldn't do this.
You're not doing it too, are you?
Oh, no. Like I couldn't figure out another, like that was the pick, right? Like the 20% bothers me though. I like to pick them when not really many people pick them.
See, I don't look at the percentage because I'm trying to get points. I'm still shooting for that 1,100 points.
Yeah, I'm not. I'm going for I'm making a giant move this week.
You just scored like 14,000 points last week. You made a giant move.
I did. I'm going for it again. No, because if I get this right, I don't know why I'm picking him, other than he surprises me on the most random events. Josh Douglas.
I mean, that is a shot from the hip. I'm not gonna lie, and I mean, he does show up in some random events.
Yeah. And I don't think this group's this group can kill you regardless of who you pick.
Yeah.
Like Steve Kennedy can finish the last.
And has.
And look at him. Look. It's starting to the wheels. He's like, dude, he could.
No, I mean, honestly, if you really want to look at the safest pick in bucket,
it's Steve.
No. The safest pick, statistically, the safest pick in bucket E is Hunter Shryock.
Yep.
100% as far as middle of the road 30th to 40th place finishes over the last 3 Elite Series seasons is Hunter Shryock.
Yeah, he's pretty consistent.
I'm going Josh Douglas still.
I'm actually kind of torn. I'm on one hand, I'm trying to make a gutsy call because these are once again like your random, like shot in left field. Frank Talley shows up in these kind of events and catches a big one, and he does it so often. It's kind of remarkable how many times he catches a big bass, and then still does well in the tournament. Last time they were there, did really good. The other one I'm struggling with is obviously Todd Autumn. I just like him because he is the chatterbait king. And I mean, he's from South Carolina at 12.2%, which is not very highly owned. So right now I'm probably going Todd Autumn, but I might change to Frank Talley if I'm feeling frisky. So
that's what we do. Y'all change them in the last second. So no big deal.
Well, sometimes you got to make adjustments, bro. It happens. So let's go ahead and do our favorite part, and that would be the tiebreaker weights. 4 days. Todd, what you got?
No. I'm calling it. Y'all make me do this first every time, and somehow I don't look stupid, and I actually get close. So I'm not doing like the last.
You're doing it first because I think I'm stupid. I'm not changing what I've got down, but I think I'll be stupid. So I'm interested to see what you have first.
Dude, it's always like I've guessed at every one of these. Y'all actually look at results. I just guess.
I'm guessing mine.
I'm 100% guessing. I bet you there is a 15-pound gap between the three of us.
I bet there is too.
Okay, well, I don't have no idea. I don't even know what a good weight. I never know what even good weights are there. So I'm gonna guess. They can catch a giant bag here, right? Like they catch 30 pounds here, right?
Yes.
I'm gonna guess 83.6.
Okay. What about you, Panger?
I got 89.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
89.10. I mean, I just shot from the hip on that one, not gonna lie. Awesome. I don't think they're gonna break the century mark this week. I would love to be wrong. I hope that I'm wrong. I hope they go out there and just absolutely blast them. I know everybody's wondering where's Bradley Hallman right now. He's in a prior engagement, but the last time that Hallman, I want to say, was at Santee Cooper, he told me the story one night in a hotel. Is he rolled up and caught, I think it was one of his very first Elite Series tournaments, caught a 10-pounder. Went to an area where he'd just seen a couple on beds And dude, there wasn't even very many. He rolled up there first day of the tournament. And there was a 10 and a 6, and like all these giants rolled up into one area, and he absolutely blasted them. They just showed up out of nowhere. And so, you know, that dude just straight up knows how they get. And I think these guys are going to catch them. I just don't quite think they're going to hit 100 pounds. But I think that was that particular tournament that Preston Clark did break the record at that point. Was that same tournament that Hallman fished. So, I mean, it was, yeah. So
like when he was still with him, every time I passed a Beef O'Brady's, I'd stop and eat there because they sponsored Preston Clark.
Well, heck
they weren't bad.
No, it wasn't too bad. Well, who do you think's going to win? We did it with the Classic.
Oh, jeez.
Oh, yeah. I know it's a hard one. Who you got? Call your winner.
I don't remember my picks. I'm at least pick one of my picks.
Oh, yeah, you better pick one. Why would you?
Well, I didn't last time. I picked Hackney to win over Christie.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh, I don't like my picks to win.
I don't like anybody to win either.
Are they going to look at it, any of them?
Yeah.
They are?
I think so.
And none of us picked Cox or any of that
I know.
stuff.
No, that's my pick to win was John Cox. And I'm not picking him.
Yeah, I might pick him to win. Like, I think, like, I don't know who else would be good. Like, but if there's a slim chance that you can see him, I'm going to pick him.
I mean, I think by day 3, day 4, if it continually improves and that full moon comes and those fish suck up, John Cox could be that guy on the final. If he can make it to the final day, he could just go out there and catch like a 30-pound bag and just.
But he might not. Up. He might not be able to. Like, might not happen for him yet.
Yeah, it might not. But I do think that if I had to pick somebody to win,
all my other ones are good top 10 guys, but I don't know if they can win it.
I just don't. I'd be shocked to see Mullins win there. But I mean, he could. I could see Stetson winning there. Stetson's a good fisherman, man.
That's who I was going to go with, him or Gerald.
Yeah. But
my pick was Swindle. I think after what we just saw at the Classic with Christie winning it, I mean, would that not be awesome? We see Christie win it by the 4 ounces after all that, and then Gerald gets his first Elite Series.
That's why I don't, like, it was hard. I just don't think this is like Gerald's. I just see it being, I want Gerald to win like on a lake where it would be like that trashy kind of Gerald style, like trashy in the sense of like.
I mean, this isn't going to be pristine here.
No, but like doing some boat docks, cranking, throwing a jig around, like doing some kind of like
an Alabama style.
Yeah, just kind of trashes it up a little bit, like a little bit here, a little bit of stuff here and there. And I just can see this thing this time of the year. It doesn't seem like trash fishing works.
I think this is going to be an area spot tournament. You're going to have to know the areas that they pull and move up in. If you ain't there, you can't manufacture it.
That's why I picked Josh Douglas. That dude will get it. I'm just telling you, I fished enough around him in the opens and like he'll get in an area and like just milk it. I'm just hoping he finds that area and milks it.
No, I bet he does. Well, guys,
that was my pick. That's why I picked him.
Well, guys, I hope y'all enjoyed the show. I appreciate y'all watching. Make sure you go check out Todd Castledine Fishing on YouTube and Matt Pangrac on Bass Talk Live. Guys, I hope y'all enjoyed it. We'll see y'all on the next one.
See ya.